Hey there guys, welcome to Dino's Vault and welcome to my first impression video of the Xtreme 200R. I know you guys are waiting for my first ride review and that'll happen as soon as the bike arrives here in Hyderabad. But for now, I thought I'll share my first impressions as to where this bike fits in and as to where it is primarily targeted at, because when we look at the spec sheet, the power figures are quite modest when compared to other 200cc bikes currently available in our market. The RTR 200 puts out 20.5 PS or 21 PS depending on the carb or the FI variant. Similarly, the Pulsar 200 NS puts out 23.5 PS of max power, but when we look at the Xtreme 200, the bike puts out 18.4 PS of max power and 17.1 Newton meters of max torque, and we get a 5-speed gearbox. So it isn't something that's all that interesting, at least going by the numbers on the paper. Now I'm leaving the Duke 200 out of this because I feel it's a different breed altogether. It is a class apart in terms of the performance and the incredible power to weight ratio it has on offer. So now getting back to the Xtreme 200R, this bike debuted as a concept at the 2016 Auto Expo, and Hero MotoCorp have taken their own sweet time to bring out the production unit. Well, now finally the wait is over. Although the prices haven't been officially announced yet, I'm hoping that Hero would price it on par with the 160cc or 180cc bikes in our market, such that the Xtreme 200R comes across as a superb value for money proposition, wherein people can buy a higher capacity 200cc bike with ABS at the price of a 160cc bike or a 180cc bike. However, we just need to wait and see as to what the pricing would be. As of now, yes, the Xtreme 200R does get single channel ABS as an option, which means ABS is operational only on the front wheel. We do get a 220mm rear disc as well though. The front disc is a 276mm unit, which is bigger than the 270mm front disc on the RTR 200. So now quickly comparing the Xtreme 200R with the RTR 200, the RTR 200 does get best in class 240mm rear disc. We get dual channel ABS variant as an option for the RTR, and the standard Race Edition 2.0 model also gets slipper clutch, which works as a back torque limiting system, which allows for faster downshifts without running the risk of the rear wheel hopping or locking. Also, please note that the RTR 200 gets pedal discs at both ends, whereas the Xtreme 200 gets conventional discs, and the advantage of having pedal discs on board is that it offers better heat dissipation. Now comparing the Pulsar 200 NS with the Xtreme 200R, the Pulsar offers best in class top end performance because it gets an additional 6th gear, whereas the RTR 200 and the Xtreme 200R, both of them get only a 5-speed gearbox. Also, the 200 NS single channel ABS sports a best in class 300mm front disc when compared to the 270mm front disc of the RTR 200 or the 276mm front disc of the Xtreme 200. Now, this means the larger disc on the Pulsar offers better braking performance. The tire sizes are similar for all three bikes, with all of them getting a 130/70 tire at the back. However, for the RTR 200, we do have the option of going with Pirelli tires, which is great. Also weighing in at 148 kgs for the single channel ABS variant, the Xtreme 200 is just 1 kg lighter than the RTR 200 and around 6 kgs lighter than the Pulsar 200 NS ABS variant. Now this means the Xtreme 200 does enjoy the weight advantage, and if the engine has been tuned well, the bike would definitely end up being a fun to ride motorcycle with good low to mid-range torque. The Xtreme 200R also offers the shortest wheelbase among its rivals at 1338mm, which would render the bike easily flickable in city traffic and would also help the bike tackle corners much more easily. However, the flip side to this is that the high-speed stability might take a hit, so it will be interesting to see as to how the bike fares at higher speeds on the highways. With a seat height of 795mm, the Xtreme 200R offers a saddle that should be comfortable for riders of all sizes, at least up to 6 feet tall. The Xtreme 200R also offers good amount of ground clearance at 165mm, which is more than sufficient to clear the speed breakers in the city. Also, unlike the Pulsar and the RTR 200, which do not get a Kickstarter, the Xtreme 200R seems to be the only bike in the 200cc category here in India to offer a Kickstarter, which is always good to have on board should the battery run out. Talking about the Xtreme 200R's design, the overall silhouette looks and feels similar to that of the Xtreme Sports 150cc bike. The wolf-eyed headlamp along with the LED pilot lamps look quite cool, but because it resembles the Xtreme Sports model greatly, it doesn't look as radical or as aggressive as that of the RTR 200 or the Pulsar 200 NS. The alloy wheel design again resembles that of the RTR 200 and the Honda Hornet. The rear panels are neatly laid out. The paint finish along with the body graphics would appeal to the younger audience more in my opinion. The tail lamp again is similar to the one found on the Xtreme Sports 150, but it does go well with the rest of the design of this bike. I love the way the single piece seat has been laid out. The foam seems to be of premium quality and there seems to be adequate room for the rider as well as the pillion, which is good. The huge tank shrouds remind us of the RTR 180 and I hope they serve the purpose like they do on the RTR of keeping the engine temperature down, because the Xtreme 200 neither gets liquid cooling nor does it get oil cooling. The engine is air cooled, so it will be interesting to see as to how the bike copes up in city traffic when it comes to the engine heating issues. I'm hoping that Hero would have worked on heat management for this bike. The Speedo again is kind of a letdown because it isn't as good or as premium looking as the fully digital unit on the RTR 200. We get a part analog, part digital layout. We get an analog tachometer, whereas the digital readouts include the speedometer, odometer, trip meters, fuel gauge, clock and a service reminder. Looking at the chassis, the Xtreme 200R boasts of a lightweight yet sturdy frame, which I believe contributes to its overall reduced weight compared to its rivals. With the shorter wheelbase, I'm sure that the bike would be easy to flick around in city traffic. The bike also gets 37mm front forks just like its rivals the RTR 200 and the Pulsar 200 NS, which means the bike would be offering a good front end feel and better cushioning while riding over the pothole-ridden city streets. At the back we get a 7-step adjustable monoshock, and please note that after the Hero Impulse, this is just the second bike in the entire Hero Motocorp fleet to get a monoshock. A monoshock at the back works towards the mass centralization concept and lends the bike much better handling characteristics. Talking about the brakes, as mentioned before, we get a 276mm disc up front and a 220mm disc at the back. Please note that we get single channel ABS as an option here, and it will be really interesting to see as to how aggressively Hero priced the ABS variant. Talking about the tires, we get 17-inch wheels at both ends. We get a 100/80 tire up front and a 130/70 tire at the back. The wider 130 section rear tire is a radial tire with carefully engineered precision rounded profile and is made up of special tire compound to offer superb road grip on the tarmac. The angular tread pattern is designed to offer superb traction and better water channeling capabilities such that the bike offers good road grip even on wet surfaces. Tank capacity is 12.5 liters, which is slightly better than the 12-liter tanks of the RTR 200 and the Pulsar 200 NS, because this would result in a better tank range. Mileage wise, because Hero MotoCorp is known for churning out mileage champions like the Glamour, the Splendor and the Passion, I'm hoping that the Xtreme 200R would offer a mileage of anywhere around 35 to 40 kmpl. So I guess that's about it. This wraps up my first impression video of the Xtreme 200R. I just hope you found this video useful. Until next time, this is Dino saying ciao, take care, God bless and ride safe.